Okay, guys. Wait a second. That's better. I just closed the door. Um, I'm going to be reading a fan fiction. I'm gonna have to make this a two-parter, maybe three, considering I only have 15 minutes to make the first part. And this is not my picture. This is somebody on Divine Art. And you do not have to be 18 or up because I tried to find a fan fiction on fanfiction that was not about, grown up stuff and all of that. And this is a romance comedy. It's called That Magical First Kiss or something of that sort, starring Rarity and Spike. I'm going to read this, but I'm reading it off my iPad, so yeah, guys can kind of get a view of what I'm seeing right here. But anyways, without further ado, That Magical First Kiss. The skies over Ponyville were clear of clouds, giving the moon and the stars plenty of room to shine their lights down upon the little town's streets. He had looked up at any given moment. Spike would have seen an array of bright glimmers in the midnight blue air that he, being the dragon he was, would say looked like diamonds. However, the night sky and its constellations would have not been farther from his mind. His eyes stayed focused on a different set of diamonds. Rarity was ahead of him, trotting along at a comfortable pace, while she gabbed about the latest drama in her life. He listened attentively. I don't know that word, as he always did. But while his ears took in the sound of her voice, his eyes strayed to the motion of her lips. That's kind of creepy. He focused in particular on the trio gemstones present on the sides of each of her flanks. I'm sorry. He took in every small detail to the cutie mark, the backwards Y made from the gasps each of the stones. The glimmer they cast every time they caught the light of the moon or a street lamp. The way they stretched outwards thanks to the generous curve of Rarity's backside, hugging her swaying flanks like a skin knight. Okay, this is getting really weird, guys. Really weird. It's already been 3 minutes and this is super... I just don't know what to say. Take it easy, Spike, he told himself as he felt a flash of warmth in his cheeks. Hint, hint. And a shiver ran down his spine. Don't ruin this for yourself. He tore his gaze away from his lovely diamonds, and chose to let it rest on the back of her head. To his surprise and intense embarrassment, he found himself directly into a pair of azure eyes. Oh, wait. Rarity's sly smile and raised eyebrow told him he needed to know. He had been caught. finished?" she asked, swishing her tail back and forth teasingly. When she saw that he could not speak to answer her, she let out a girlish giggle and slowed her step, falling in the line with a red-faced Drake. "No need to be so embarrassed, darling. You're my Drake friend now." I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. Some Britain thing. I'm really sorry if you're British, and yeah, I don't care. "You're required to stare at me in the She leaned closer to him, staring at her neck a bit to reach his ear fins. This is his ear fin, by the way, guys. Where was I? Yeah. "Besides," she whispered, "it's not as if it's the first time I've caught you staring at my cutie mark." She gave him a peck on the cheek, sending him reeling. He brought a clap up to his face and almost spilled over himself. "Drake friend," he thought, and his face flushed from reddish purple to a brilliant crimson. "My new favorite nickname." He looked at the unicorn and tried to give her a proper smile, but the further giggles made it apparent that he wasn't doing a good job of it. So he turned and tried to force his blush and nervousness away. He had to manage. Sorry, guys. He had just managed to get his heartbeat steady again when all too gentle brush against his when an all too gentle brush against his side had sent it skyrocketing again. "Spike," he heard Rarity say, now with a more evident tone of concern. I mean, it's all right. Yeah, he mumbled back, keeping his eyes averted. Sorry, I always stuffed. But this picture could have been the picture for the fanfic. It's a comedy. I don't know how it's a comedy though. He knew that there was nothing to be worried about. It wasn't like this was his first date or anything. Actually, it was his third date with Rarity, and it was coming to a close. Sorry, I said close. What? Where am? Oh, sorry. Which was exactly why he was so distracted. I had taken months of working up the gut. Sorry, not waking up to do the deed. But finally, he'd achieved his goal. A week after Hearts and Hooves Day of asking her out to dinner, that first date had gone perfectly. So perfectly, he often wondered if it was a dream. And the night had ended with a sensual kiss on the cheek from the lovely mare. A week later, he asked her out again, and that time he had given her a goodnight kiss on the cheek. Those 2 dinners had made him feel like the luckiest drag in the world. They'd also make him more determined than ever to stop opportunity from his slipping through his claws again. He'd made plans for another dinner, this time with a movie afterwards, and Rarity had happily accepted. Both events went well, though the movie had turned out to be a little shockily over long period piece instead of dramatic forbidden love story the poster had adversed. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at keeping track where I'm going to go. And now they were once more headed for Rarity's abode. With every abode means house. Just so you know. It feels like I'm teaching a class right now, except I wouldn't be reading a fan fiction to my class. Who cares? With every step they took, their time together grew shorter, as did Spike's window of opportunity to make his final move. He was going to kiss her on the lips this time, and he had to. I think it's about time. Okay, guys, I'm going to switch to another picture really quickly. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. You guys see what I changed the picture to? Why he had to was a reason that had stuck with him since the moment Rarity had first agreed to dinner. He needed their relationship to be real. And their relationship wasn't real until the partners had kissed properly. That's not true, guys. If you have a relationship with someone and you haven't kissed them, then it's probably still a relationship. He'd known that for years, had seen it proven on his own eyes, and now it was his turn to do it. Everything had to be perfect. Oops, where did I go? Sorry, guys. And that meant that he needed to control himself. He was just barely an adult, still adapting to his latest growth spurt, which had left him just larger than Big Macintosh, a little less muscular than bulk biceps, and forced him into all fours in order to move around properly. He was all too proud to add, and he wasn't going to let the remains of his teenage immaturity ruin his chances to finally have his true love all to himself. He had gone over the plan many times in his head. Walk, talk, keep things cheerful all the way to the end. And once they reached Rarity's home, wait for her to say goodnight. Then we will continue this. Wait, we still have a little bit more time, guys. We're not going to end it right now. Then he took a deep breath and put on a smile, feeling his blush fade. Turning his head back to Rarity, he gave her his most charming look and flashed his pearly whites. So, he said, his nervous stammer vanishing for the first time being, you were talking about bridal way? That is all for this episode, guys. Like, subscribe, and please comment.